If this recent report is true, it would change everything for the Philadelphia 76ers and their mindset going forward. For years, we've heard the Sixers need an athletic, scoring wing to pair with Joel Embiid and with their guards in the backcourt. And they have the opportunity to do that with the third overall pick this year and selecting Ace Bailey. But according to a recent report by Sam Vecenie, that might not be the play that's in the cards for the Philadelphia 76ers, and they could look to take their selection elsewhere and potentially pick a guard. While already having Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey, and most likely Quentin Grimes back, it would be a very crowded backcourt. Ace Bailey at the 3 or the 4 slides right into that lineup perfectly. But this report could change everything for the Philadelphia 76ers and their mindset when it comes to the NBA draft this upcoming June, just a few weeks away. Sam Vecenie says the Sixers are more likely to draft VJ Edgecombe or Kon Knueppel over Ace Bailey if they stay at the third selection of the 2025 NBA draft. How do you feel about this? Is kind of the main point of conversation, the main story of today's video. And when you think about it in, the big picture, Ace Bailey, I think, makes the most sense from not only talent-wise, but roster fit-wise as well. VJ Edgecombe, an explosive player, maybe they look at him a little bit more of an upside guy. Kon Knueppel, I think, is more so the plug and play from day one if you're really trying to make this final run to an NBA title with Joel Embiid. And with the East looking as wide open as it is, maybe that is the selection. But Kon Knueppel is more of a guy I think you get at number 5 or number 6. But if the Sixers are head over heels in love with him at number 3, then they're probably just going to stick there and pick him at that number 3 spot. But Ace Bailey, I'm not saying is a slam dunk player, slam dunk prospect, but in terms of talent, fit, everything that you're looking to check the boxes, Ace Bailey more than not makes sense over a guy like Kon Knueppel or VJ Edgecombe. Because VJ Edgecombe, you're buying into the upside. You're buying into the potential. Kon Knueppel, I think he is what he is. I don't know how much better he's going to get. I see like a Luke Kennard type ceiling in the NBA. A pretty easy comparison there for a white shooter out of Duke. But that's kind of the ceiling I see for him. Never going to be a great player. Never really worthy of a top 3 pick. But you're not going to be upset with him. You're not going to be like, oh, he's a total bust. I think he's going to be a very good player in the NBA for a long time, but a guy that probably never makes an all-star team. When you're picking up here at number 3 overall, it's your chance to really swing for the fences and take one of those high-ceiling prospects that you could build around for the next 10 to 12 years, especially in the post-Joel Embiid era that looks like it's going to be coming down the pike, sooner than later. So this is a report that is a bit of a head-scratcher for me, a little bit more of an eye-opener, and you're going to see reports and stories like these leading up to the draft. One guy says one thing, one guy says another. But Sam Vecenie, one of the more tapped-in guys when it comes to college scouting, college evaluating, and the NBA draft as a whole. He knows what he's talking about with these guys, and he's not saying that they should pick VJ Edgecombe or Kon Knueppel, but what he's heard, is what the Sixers might be leaning to do. But we've also seen some that say that they're leaning Ace Bailey. Believe what you want to believe, but we're here to just talk about it and break down kind of the story and what's likely to happen and what is behind this. When you look at the big board in terms of who is going to be kind of in the mix there for the Sixers, Kon Knueppel and VJ Edgecombe right there at number 3. We'll dive into VJ Edgecombe a little bit first, but an athletic freak, a superstar athlete coming out of Baylor, was the Big 12 Rookie of the Year, Big 12 All freshman team, Big 12 All selection as well. A Victor Oladipo-esque player would probably be my comparison for him. I've seen that thrown around a lot, and I like that. But steals, rebounding, he's a hustler. Able to kind of get to the basket and create and finish over taller defenders. But right now, his three-point shooting, his outside shooting, his self kind of creation on the perimeter is where that lacks. And is this a guy that we can develop and tap into? And especially with the crowded backcourt that we have now, might not have to play right away. Sure, you could kind of look at it like that and potentially being a long-term option here for Philadelphia. But at the same time, I would rather tap into a guy like Ace Bailey instead. I think more upside, a taller player, a player on the wing that you haven't had forever. You have all these young guards already assembled. I don't think the VJ Edgecombe pick necessarily makes sense right now. I would much more lean Ace Bailey, but according to this recent report, you better get familiar with a guy like VJ Edgecombe because he's certainly going to be sitting there in the discussion at number 3 overall for the Philadelphia 76ers. But a guy I think if you're looking more so along the lines of, a plug and play guy. You're more so in the camp of, I want a guy that's able to come in, help us from day one, be an immediate contributor, not be a net negative on any end of the floor. I don't think he's going to be a great defender ever, but I think he's going to be a solid enough defender, a good team defender, and be able to fit in around with the guys around him. With Joel Embiid being able to protect the rim, his defense isn't going to be needed as much. But at the same time, Quentin Grimes, a very good defender in the backcourt to help him out. But Kon Knueppel, you look at all the strengths as well, offensive rating, free throw percentage, assist to turnover, his ability to shoot the ball. The list goes on and on for his strengths. Weaknesses, his athleticism, kind of plain and simple. But he's Mr. Fundamental. When you watch him play, he doesn't really let his lack of athleticism kind of hold him back. And that's the good thing about him. But at the same time, it goes back to my beginning conversation, my beginning point. You're at number 3. You don't know the next time you'll ever, and hopefully never, be picking this high again to take a potential swing on an upside guy like an Ace Bailey. If you are team upside and team want to, look for the future, build for the future, VJ Edgecombe probably above Kon Knueppel too. But if your team win right now, this is the last chance we have to make at a run, at a title for Joel Embiid, if his knee's able to hold up. You throw Kon Knueppel in a rotation with Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes, and then Kon Knueppel. It doesn't get much better at the shooting spot than that. From being able to knock down shots consistently from the perimeter, have guys be able to space the floor around Joel Embiid. Kelly Oubre, you throw in there for his athleticism on the wing and some ability to go out there and score if you're able to re-sign Yabusele and he comes back. But this is a loaded backcourt in terms of being able to shoot and score. Now, is he worth the number 3 overall pick? I wouldn't say so. But if you're able to slide back to, 5, 6, somebody is head over heels in love with one of these prospects and want to trade up, then I could see this being more of a conversation of Kon Knueppel being a Sixer. I'm not leaping and doing backflips down Broad Street if he's the pick at number 3 overall. But at the same time, if you're able to trade back to 5 or 6 or 7 and you're still able to pick up Knueppel and get another trade asset or get another win now type of player that fits under the cap space, that is certainly an attractive option too. So if your team win right now, we have to make the play to the move to help Joel Embiid win a NBA title before he eventually falls apart and has to retire. Kon Knueppel, I think, would be your guy. But if you're looking for the upside and Ace Bailey's not the selection for the Sixers, VJ Edgecombe is probably going to be your guy. So there's going to be a ton of varying reports over the next few weeks as we lead up to the NBA draft. But this was an eye-opening one that reveals a lot, and it could be major news for the Sixers in terms of who they're selecting, because it's always been kind of Cooper Flag and Dylan Harper in a tier of their own, then Ace Bailey kind of there at 3, and then your next kind of crop of guys. And for Kon Knueppel and VJ Edgecombe to enter that conversation right now over Ace Bailey, it's certainly an eye raiser and something to monitor over the next few weeks as we lead up to the NBA draft. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Ace Bailey your guy no matter what, or are you going to kind of favor, taking a guy like Kon Knueppel, taking a guy like VJ Edgecombe, another one of these guards to slide into the backcourt? As always, please let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and we'll be talking to you next time here on Sixers Digest.